So this is the greatest gift I can give anyone. This is information I wish I always knew growing up. I didn't understand. My father would always say, sleep on your back, stand up straight. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't understand the implications. I didn't understand the negativity how it would affect my life. When I was in college, I was in chronic pain, constantly getting adjusted, sometimes twice a day, multiple doctors, some of the best doctors in the world at the university adjusting me, and I was still in pain. I had foot pain, I had chronic chest pain. It was always popping and crunching, getting jammed up. I was working out, but I was always in pain. I couldn't figure it out. And then I discovered, shortly after being out of school, posture, understanding spinal stability, and it really helped me correct these issues. Chiropractic has always been very pivotal in my life, but this is what really made the difference for me. And chiropractic adjustments were so much more effective once I retrained my body. And I know this video is not short. People are always yelling at me like, I want a shorter video, Nate, but this isn't easy stuff. This is taking me a long time to learn. It's taking me a long time to master. And it's not a 1-minute video. I'm sorry. So watch this, move along with it, try to jump in on some of these exercises, but first understand. That's the most important thing, is understanding. There's nothing special and secret here. You can find these exercises all over the internet. It's how you're doing them. I tell people all the day long, I don't know if they understand it, but I'm saying to them, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Your body's meant to handle high weight. Your body's meant to recover better than and we're meant to be able to like handle a bump in the road without having our spine. People say, oh, it popped out. You know, I bent down, picked up a pencil, it popped out. I went over a pothole, it popped out. That's not right. It's not age that does it to you. It's muscle imbalance. So this video is about balancing that muscles and bringing stability to our spines.
We'll go over our 5 steps. We'll come in here and zoom in on this.
Alright guys, so sorry I forgot to hold the phone horizontal, so we got the narrow view on this first video, but I'm going to go over how I teach people to stand up straight. I've changed a lot of what I say because people connect with certain ideas about what is correct posture, because likely you don't understand it. Once you get in your head, it's better. And there's certain things that people connect with better. Like I tell them, it's not about the angle you're positioning your body in. It's about using the right muscles. And then some people, I try to not talk about their head or their shoulders, because then they tend to do this weird bowing motion where they're just bringing themselves into almost a leaning back posture, and that's not good either. So I'm going to go over these 5 steps, which have made a good connection for me, but I'll present them in different ways throughout the video. Hopefully you'll get them, because that's the most important thing you want, is be able to get these steps right, get yourself upright correctly so you're able to do exercises without injuring yourself.
Sway back's a little bit different. Sway back usually starts with a posterior pelvic tilt and then goes forward. So sometimes it looks like you have a deep curve, but it's not. It's actually an increase in the thoracic spine to balance your body out. It literally has to increase that curve so you don't fall backwards. If your spine is straight, your hips are forward, you're just going to topple forward or backwards. What it has to do, so you give people that big hump, that's where that comes from. It just happens over time. It takes years. So reversing it is a pain in the butt. It takes a while. It's not going to happen overnight. So now try some circles, kind of like we're doing the hula hoop. Really doing slow until you get that feel. It's like you're doing a little bit of the flexion extension of that tailbone while you're going through the circle. You're just adding a little component into it. These are great on the ball. They really help the lumbar spine. Here, let me show you on this model. So we got 5 lumbars down here at the bottom, sitting right on top of your sacrum. So when you're doing this, these little discs here are actually getting some fluid pumping in that. They need the fluid so they stay a cushion. A lot of x-rays will see they're flat, there's nothing there. That's because there's so much, not only is there so much compression, but it's because it's not moving. It's not getting fluid and life or movement. So when you're doing this, you're getting a little bit of movement. Each of those little bones should feel like they're kind of moving a little bit. So there's joints in the front, and there's little joints in the back too. These are the ones you hear click sometimes or pop. They might be into something a little twisted out of place. And you have a disc between your tailbone too, and that last lumbar. So there's a joint there as well. So I'll show you different positions here. So our anterior, that tailbone likes to rock up and can increase that curve in the low back.
Right.
And then posterior, the spine will flatten, and then this can increase and the hips go forward. So that's your sway back position. And the head and the neck will do a little something different in response. Some people you see them with a very straight back, like there's no curves at all. Kind of look like this. That's usually because they're rocked back like that. And that's usually the stage before it goes to sway back. Sometimes they'll just stay that. So that we'll call that military neck. There's no curve. You're supposed to have a little tiny curve here. So I'll show you the ideal again. So that's about where you want to be. A little curve in the neck. Because it opens up those spaces. All these little spaces are nerves coming out. So it's your lifeline. All your organs, all your muscles, all your tissues. Talk to your brain through these nerves. So if something's twisted or you got too much curve in one area, you might not even feel pain, but you can have decreased connection.
Yeah.
So your heart can be operating at 80%. So that's like when they say on the news, oh, he was really healthy, he just had a heart attack. Maybe it was from the spine, maybe he didn't have enough nerve flow. So you can think of it like a water hose, and someone's put some light pressure on it, it's going to change what's happening. Nerves aren't essentially water, but they're chemical. It's chemical reactions. So if there's pressure there, inflammation can change the chemical reactions. Inflammation can be created anytime there's pressure on a joint. It's out of place, it kind of locks it up, it's swelling. It's like when you sprain your ankle, it swells up. It can't be happening to the joint because it's locking it down. It's to protect it.
Wow.
So you gotta get it back in place so it's moving. He doesn't want to go out further because then you have direct compression of the nerve, and that's when you really feel it. That's your sciatica. So sciatica can be from muscle, but it can also be from the spine. So it can be either these three bottom lumbar nerves and the sacral nerves here.
I haven't had sciatica. I used to have sciatica so horribly, and actually I started on your dad, and I really haven't had anything major in years.
So sciatica in the arms is called radiculopathy. In Latin, radic means root. So that's the first part. So the root nerve comes out of the spine. So as compression of it's radiculopathy. And that can affect your hands. But the same nerves that can affect your hands, affect your heart, affect your lungs, your diaphragm. You don't feel those. You can have your hand can be on fire. That same nerve goes to your heart. Just think about that. There's not as many pain centers there. You think about it when you have a heart attack, where do you feel it?
In your arm.
It goes down your arm, right? Does that make sense?
Huh.
So that's why we really gotta get these right. Feel 100% heart attack. How did it happen? A lot of babies too. You know, they SIDS, they just die. So it could be birth. They're getting pulled out by the neck.
Right.
Still trying to get them out. They get twisted. It could be something locked up. A lot of babies will be bumping their head. They're trying to correct something's not right.
Wow.
How are you feeling on those? Just to reinforce that, because that's something you can do all day. It's something I do all day. So I slump like this a lot. So I'm always trying to rock that back. That's a major exercise. It looks really silly and stupid, but doing that all day really works. So we're doing this on the ball. You want to feel that abs tightening in, curling your tailbone underneath you without moving your torso. See that? If you room in your upper body a little bit, so try to keep that. I put my hands on my hips too to help you, so you feel that little. It's tricky, right?
Yeah.
Who knew such little motions were tricky?
That's ab workout though, isn't it?
So the tailbone tucks underneath, the abs push in, then the opposite, you lift the butt. It's more than the abs, the quad and the hamstring are playing a big role. So when this drops down, butt goes up, quads are pulling that down. And then when I pull up, the abs are sucking in, the hamstrings are pulling the butt down. So it's the opposite.
Keep my knees straight. Don't bend knees.
It's okay to bend a little bit. When you lift up, quads pulling down, in the back, these guys are pulling up. So some people are stuck in either one of these positions. So you notice that one position is really hard. For me, it's tucking my tail. If these are really tight, they're going to resist that motion. Now people would sway back with the hips are out in front of us. They have trouble doing this.
I don't have any trouble doing that.
So you probably need to do more of the
This one.
like flattening that lumbar spine, especially if you've got a deep curve, it like won't go. So we're doing that on the ball too. So you want to bring that stomach in. So most people, they stand with their chest low, the head's forward. So you need to bring the stomach in, raise the chest, and that brings the head over the shoulders, and they just drop back naturally. You're not stiff, you're not lifting up like this, just in, and then you want to squeeze the butt a little bit, tuck it underneath you. And you want to straighten your knees. That's step number 5 there. So anytime we're doing an exercise, you're getting in that position. This guy over here, Matthew McConaughey, chest is low, he's got the hump, his head is forward, got the little belly, increased lumbar curve. Yeah, and he's got short arms. So we're gonna go over some neck stretches. Keep filming, and then I'll show you them, and then you'll do them.
Okay.
So you can put your left arm behind your back, same position, lift the chest up, and you're going away from the arm that's behind your back. So you're gonna look up at the ceiling, go behind, you get this muscle here. This one's called your SCM muscle, and it's innervated by the same nerve as the traps back here. So those are to prevent your neck from getting broken. So you go up and stretch to the side, and you go down and stretch away. And then you rotate, which kind of stretches both of them at the same time. There's some other muscles that are stretching there. You can go as fast or as slow as you want with those. Same thing on the right side, up to the side, down to the side, and then rotate. You're always going away from the arm that's behind your back. You're looking away. And you can pull a little bit too, like that, stretch. Tape Debbie, no, I'm kidding.
Oh.
That's a good one to go, get your arms going before.
That's what it looks like you're doing.
Next one, we're going to do the tricep one. Another one, especially if you're doing some yoga poses where you're holding your body weight, you want to stretch the arms. So you go above the head, feel that stretch in the lat, and then lift that chest up again. This one's troublesome for some people. And you can go in a box formation, stretch it this way. So you're here and then here, same thing, up. I stretch things. You can count to 10, or you can do 3 deep breaths. I like doing the breaths because it reminds you to breathe, because we forget to breathe sometimes. Start out stretching them up there. We're going to go down nice and slow at the hips. Really slow. Slow it down.
You want to think about your spine when you're doing this one. Try to feel each little individual segment move as you drop down. And the key is when you get to the bottom, do little circles with your hands. Call this one the lazy 8. Go to the left, go to the right. Do that low back stretch. The key part is when you go up, bend your knees like this, and then lift. You don't want to lift in this position because it's hard on your back. So
Lift up, but also you're picking up an object off the ground. So let's do that one again. The idea is also keep your head in between your arms at all times. When you go down, you're staying together, and really take it slower. So you want to feel like once the base of your neck, feel those little bones start moving as you go down. Really slow it down, like that's too fast there.
Too fast.
Too fast. Makes your core work more. It's that slow fall against gravity.
And bend the knees and rise up. Let's try it again, nice and slow. Watch me a little bit first, how I start out. This one's a good one when you're in pain. Help unlock that spine. Drop down and let it hang. Bend the knees, rise up, nice and slow. So let's do some eagles now too. Lift it up there, the chest, try not to lean back, keep that core in strong. The core is more than your stomach too, it's all these muscles back here. Anything that's involved with keeping the spine centered. Anytime you're lifting a weight, if your core isn't strong, the spine takes the hit. So even little things, reaching up. Focus on that core. Then we're going to reach to our left. So we go up, reach left. Pick an apple. Then we go right. Grab another apple from another tree. Hope it's not rotted. So kind of shifting your weight from one leg to the other. Just stretching everything out before we get moving here. Alright. Arm twists here, loosen those up. We're going to try to stretch the tricep muscles. You're going to grab your elbow and bring it up there. Yep. Now lift that chest too. Don't let your head go too forward. Don't let those hips go forward either. You're going to stretch it there. Feel that. There. Then you're going to kind of make a box formation. So you can put them over your head like that. Kind of go this way. So that's more of the lat there. Get a little bit of both in each direction. Good there. So you're not really turning into it, you're just keeping your body up. Let's do the other one. Elbow up. Again, don't let the head pull forward. It's a natural response. Like that, and then just make a box with the arms. Alright. Feel loosen up already. Now you're going to go behind the elbow like this, kind of hook it, drag it across your body. This one's for the deltoid here. So the deltoid, it's big arm movement, it does all these things. Now it's really tight. You're pulling it across your body and squeezing. Try to get your forearm behind your tricep there. So, yeah, you just got to hug it in close, then you'll feel it. Yeah. Don't feel it, you're not doing it right. That core in there. Cross there. So try to hook that elbow as much as you can, then you slowly pull it across. I'm not really rotating either, I'm just trying to keep my body straight. You'll notice one side is usually tighter than the other. This my left one's very tight under here.
Mine is right here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Then we're going to go behind the head here. And you're going to be pushing back with your head as you squeeze the shoulder blades in there. And then it really pops the chest out when you do that. So really pushing from the core to lift your chest. Make sure you're popping up here as well. Reverse that bad posture from sitting all day. You just want to car a little bit with your head. You know, you can't do it with your arms, obviously. You want to crash into oncoming traffic, but you push back against the headrest. A lot of people think that's working the back of the neck, but it's not. Where do you feel it? You feel it here, you should. If you're not, use your head back too much. Try to keep the chin tucked. So that chin will like to rise up a little bit. So you just want to keep it down. You want to feel it at ease. Yeah, that's there. Don't lean back, right? Good. It's hard. Yeah. So the idea is you're really not coming back, you're pushing back. So you got to find that equal pressure so your head's not actually moving. And make sure you're squeezing in the shoulder blades too. Crack that egg. You could do it as one of those. Do a little 2-second hold, push. Alright. Loosen it up a little bit. That one we call the butterfly here, nice and slow. Same idea, we're squeezing the shoulder blades. this position, we're able to squeeze the very angle tips there. Also try to bring it down and back. Squeeze, the chest pops automatically. That's what we want, right? Just little bird flaps here. Try to get those wrists going, so you want to loosen those up right, make it tight. So kind of move everything together, elbows, shoulders. I'll do it in one direction, also you can go backwards, and I'll go, like we're going forwards. Clockwise and counterclockwise. That was hard to do a while. You work that core in, make sure you're keeping that in. Because you want to keep those hips in line with the shoulders. That's where you need to be, right? Almost like you want to fall over. That's how out of whack we get from living in the first world country. Hips are all over. Nothing's right. We forgot how to be human. We're turning it into chairs. We're getting into a chair shape. So let's work those legs a little bit. We won't be using them too much because it's mostly neck, but you always want to just do a little bit, loosen them up, because you do have to support your body in the weight you're taking on. We'll just do the side steps. So you take a big step for the one leg, and then you go behind, same leg, then in front, and then just go the other way. So you go left, big step, cross behind, big step, cross in front. That works all those muscles that work to the side that we never use, right?
Yeah.
Always going forwards. Wow. So that's the abductor that takes away from the body, and then the adductor brings the leg across, and then we're going to do it again in front. Notice the same thing, one side's harder than the other. And the key is to do it a little slower to stabilize your core. It's a little trickier. And you're trying not to move fast. Let momentum take. Because your body's just used to it. It's almost like you want to stumble. But if you slow it down, that's when you really work on that core. Good. Let's do a light jog in place.
Feel it go all the way almost into your tailbone. The more you do it, the more you feel that shifting.
We're going to do a little bit of what we went over last time, the baby rolls and all that, but not too much. I know you love those so much. We'll start with the rock first, so you're going to get on all fours. And you can stay on your toes if you want to. If your knees hurt you, you can just kind of hover like that.
Tendonitis now when I'm going to my toes.
So you can get a curve in the low back is the idea. So you want to look it up, all the way looking up in this position. Then you drop down and up. Just the easiest start. That's really hard, right? Get that curve, drop that butt with the feet. The spine is light. Eventually when your feet are happier, because it's a little harder on the toes.
I don't
Yeah.
have tendonitis.
So when you feel better about it, you can progress to that. You can even go wider with the legs too. Just get a little more stretch on the inner thigh. And then just stay there like this, really kind of push your stomach down, and then just do your head. Go down and up. So we can learn a lot from babies, right? You see them doing that a little bit when they're learning to crawl. That's how they get those spinal curves, and then we lose them by sitting all day, driving cars, flat surfaces, we're not running around the jungle like we should. And do some turning, left, right, try to look up too. Left and right, nice and slow, don't break your neck. Down and up again. Just feel that kind of pushing in there. You're trying to get that curve in. Feel that. Keep that head up at all times. Yep, there you go. And we're just going to go over the baby rolls so we have that on video as well. Okay, because I know you love those so much. So we're going to roll here on the floor. And you can do this as many times as you want. You got a big space, you can go out on the lawn and do it. But the key is, you're on your stomach, kind of in like a Superman position. You're gonna look where you want to go. So your head's lifting up, arm goes back, leg goes back. Flip you over. You can keep going like that if you want. Just keep going.
So with the baby roll here, one girl was saying she had very increased sway back. She was getting bruising on the bones on the front of her pelvis. So with sway back, the hips are swayed forward, so a lot of pressure is going to go on those hips. So the point of the baby roll is to strengthen that core, bring those hips in. So you really got to tighten in that stomach before you roll. You're actually using your spine to roll you, if that helps. On that line of thinking is you're using your core musculature and your spine to roll you. You're not pushing off your hands or your arms or whatever. So your core is doing the work.
All right. And you'll notice that one really helps your posture. Next one, we'll do the baby rock. You're down on all fours. This, make sure your head's up. You never want your head hanging because we want to look up. And you're just going back and forth on the legs here. Loosen up your hips, get your arms going for whatever exercise you're going to be doing. These help your spinal curves too. You want a good tightness in there in the stomach too. You don't want to be doing this like you're worshiping. You want to be lifting up. Okay, so that's the rock. So we did the roll, you got to rock and roll. That's backwards, you roll and rock. And then the next one is the crawl. You can take this as slow as you want, or as fast as you want. But you want to go forwards and backwards. Just crawling on the floor like a baby would. And this helps develop your spinal curves that you've lost. A baby, when they first are born, don't have any spinal curves. They're just a big C shape. They're all rounded like this because that's where they're in the uterus. And what happens when we get old, we return to that same position. There's no curve in the spine. When the baby gets his curves, it's from being in here, this position, developing the neck curve, developing the low back curve, crawling. And you can do this on your toes if you got bad knees. Just try to keep the butt down. You don't want to be up this, because then you got bad curves. You're rounding that posture. In like this, I've developed that lumbar curve. You see the difference?
Yep.
Bad curve, good curve. All right, good. So yeah, lift your hips. Just stay down on your stomach for now. Lift your head up. So look at me. Then I want you to take your right arm, put it behind your back.
He's gonna put my right arm and with me out of here.
Just you don't have to lay it on your back, but just you're gonna use the momentum of that arm. Now bring the right leg over your back too. Other leg, yeah. Then roll. Look at me and roll.
I can't do it.
It's hard.
I really can't do it.
Try again. Look at me. Lift your head. And then bring that right leg
I'm
behind
sad
you.
baby.
That's what happens. You haven't rolled enough. There. Let me guide the head up first. Tilt it back. So you're looking up at the ceiling. There we go. So you got the left behind the back, right? So you're going to go to the right with your head. Yep. Just keep that looking up too. So you want to feel that stretch in the front of your neck. So it looks like to me your neck's not back far enough. And that's because this sticks out here. And eventually that'll come back in as we work this. Sometimes those are so tight.
I'm seriously gonna have to hurt.
So they pull the neck forward. So that's your SCM muscle attaches there in the collarbone. So now everyone tuck your chin. Maintain the good posture, tighten the stomach. And now you're gonna do the same thing away. Tilt away. Not rotate, just tilt. We're not rotating yet.
No.
You want to keep your eyes right in front of you. So you're here, you're just tilting away now, and you're just a little flexed. You're
That's
still
as far
looking
as my
straight.
head's going.
Okay, we'll work on that. So now look away, like we wanted to do before. First, it's good to bring that chest up and then rotate. So you're looking at Lissy over there. Good. Feel that stretch there? Look at that muscle. Really tight. So the
That's my
chest is
triple
lifted
chin.
and you're turning. Good. All right, switch it up, do the other side.
So with Marianne here, her head is very forward, the chest is dropped. She also has some sway back too, which contributes to that, pushes the head forward. But a lot of this actually comes from our sympathetic nature. So there's two different divisions of the nervous system that are like on and off switches. They're called the autonomic nervous system. So you have parasympathetic and sympathetic. Sympathetic is your fight or flight response. So when you're hunched forward with your head down, you're protecting your heart, you're protecting your neck, vital places in your body. And the problem is we get stuck in there. We're always what we call fighting the tiger, in the jungle where you're either going to fight or run from the tiger. And some of us get stuck in that state. We're always running from the tiger. So you got to raise the chest, bring the head back. You're opening up that heart. You're opening up the neck here. So she's very forward. And this comes from computer use, but it can come from stress. So you got to free your mind from those things and change your outlook.
So the first one we're doing is circles. Kind of grip that middle,
Okay.
and I'll show you this one here. And there's little ones there. If you're dropping it, just bring your feet up. Don't let it go on your toes.
Oh,
What we're going to be doing is working our core by handing it
no.
behind our backs like
Okay.
this. If you want, you can put a finger in that middle hole there so it doesn't fall. But it also works that grip too.
Which is really weak.
So grip is weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, try the lighter one if you need to.
I might as well do
But
this.
this one really forces you to work that core.
Okay.
Hit the arms too, but it's really a big core exercise. The dumbbell probably unwieldy as well. And then we need to go the other direction too. So you can spend about a minute going one way, and a minute going the other way. Now you're going to even yourself out. The key is you're both doing really good, but you don't want to be like getting sloppy with it and like using momentum. It's all about really stabilizing, staying straight. Need to take a break? Are your hands still okay?
Yeah.
Now we can hold it with two hands, put it behind our head, and kind of do like a wobbly motion. And the same idea. You want to keep your torso straight. Try not to be doing like this kind of dance. This is really just the arms that are moving. Try to just move the arms. And the head you want to keep straight too, so you don't want to be ducking and diving and trying to dodge the weight. The idea is it's really going to get you some mobility in your shoulders. It's okay if you feel some pop, and I am too, because if you lose all mobility, your shoulders are just hanging out on computers and cars and do the same motion. So this will open up that shoulder girdle. I'm going to go the other direction, same kind of deal. Whoa. It's sloppy as going, right? And starts dodging it. But do your best just to keep everything stationary. You'll get better with it as you go. Doing okay with the weights? Keep working on trying to keep those hips underneath you. Underneath. Don't let them go out, right? Lost that line in the pants. Always trying to keep that in line with the ankles. Okay to stop at any time. Double check that. Do we reverse yet? Because let's reverse. Go the other direction. Do one more reverse after that. Keep going. Imagine if you did this every day.
Have muscles.
Just watch that neck. The biggest thing is don't be bobble in the neck. Feel it in the neck, right? And reverse one more time. Very well that way. Now I'm confused.
Me too.
A little funny. We're actually doing a really wide stance. And it's more into a figure eight through the legs. So we're handing it through our legs like this.
So stay in a squat pretty much.
Kind of stay in a squat position. And do your best to keep your head up. This one's a little tricky.
No, I can't be getting twisted up.
Sometimes you just pretend you got the weight, but this one really helps that mobility of the hips as well. Go the other way too if you haven't. Actually, it's a figure eight.
I had to think how I do
I
that.
don't even know if you need to, but I guess it does make a slight difference. This one's not as big as an issue as the other ones. This one you burn some calories. One more reversal. Going the other way. I'm gonna think now too. There we go. Right, don't forget to breathe. Don't be exaggerated. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Don't get too bent over with it. On the ball, sometimes I don't know if we did those last time. Okay. Same idea. You're trying to hold it over here and just kind of wobbling the hips. Yeah. Hula hoop. Exactly.
Hula hoop. I can do a hula hoop.
I should bring hula hoops in.
I have a weighted one though. It's not.
So really, before you can add on weight or do deadlifts or stuff heavy, you got to really stabilize that spinal musculature, or you're liable to hurt yourself. You're going to either sprain a joint or you're going to strain a muscle. So you got to get yourself into a strong, stable position before you can really add on weight. Right here, we're using light weight, so that's okay. But even if you're really bad, sometimes even a little bit of weight can throw you off. But if you're doing it properly, you'll be fine. But first, you got to know what proper is. And you notice a lot in these shots that my butt sticks out a bit. That's because I deal with anterior pelvic tilt, so I'm the opposite of sway back. So a lot of times I see myself and I just want to have myself tuck my tailbone. And I catch myself, you notice me catching myself a lot. I get a little distracted because I'm talking. So don't take me as the perfect example, all right?
But you want your head hanging like that. So you're working that neck just hanging there, okay? This is a core workout, just getting on the stupid thing. Roll down a little bit more. A little bit more.
Okay.
You'll get steady with it as it goes. I'll be here for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna bring your arms up over your head here.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is kind of a sideways crunch. So you're kind of rolling onto one shoulder. Like that. Keep your arms over your head though, is the trick here. Let me grab you by the hips. So lift up towards me. Do a crunch. Use these, yep. And then you go that way, kind of roll. Perfect. And then go back to where you were, head hanging off. And then to the other side. Yep, roll to the shoulders. It's one shoulder to the other. The trick is your arms will want to come up. Don't let them. Try to keep them in between your head. Almost like we're doing when we're bowing.
Okay.
Same idea.
Oh man.
So you're using those
Your
abs.
neck.
Yeah, and the neck is like the major
Yeah.
thing. Try walking down a little bit towards me. I think that might help you. You don't want your head rested on the ball, but you want your shoulders. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't want your torso hanging off, like you're hanging off.
So part of the reason she's having pain here and struggling is because her head is forward. You need to have it back. You need to be tightening the neck flexors, which are those underneath your chin. You should feel those kind of tightened, getting a little shortened in that position, and that will protect your neck. This is to strengthen that. So if her head's forward, what's working is all the neck muscles in the back of her head. So it's kind of opposite of the way you would think it would be. So that's why she's holding it back there, because they're in a weird, strained position. She's trying to hold her head forward while pretty much being in a horizontal position. So that's where that trouble comes from.
Yeah, that's
But always want to try to keep it in, so you're working these guys. And don't let the head be up either. So you're kind of keeping the head in between the hands. So the head's not moving. It's your torso that's moving, but your neck is really working. So you're twisting on the ball each direction. So you're kind of like rolling onto your shoulder. So I'm rolling onto my right shoulder and rolling onto my left.
because I was back too far.
No, I think you might have been a little bit too here. You want the shoulder blades on the ball. A lot of the rest of the head, you don't want that either. You want it right there. So the arms are here. I'm just rolling over like that. It's okay if the ball moves a little bit. And I'm not going all the way up. We'll do those later. We're just going here. Maybe we'll do those later. And not really dropping the head either. Always trying to keep it. So it's more of an oblique workout, but it's mainly working the neck. The next one we're going to do is we're going to walk ourselves to the side. So your right shoulder blade is going to be in the center of the ball. And you just hang there for 2 seconds. Take a deep breath. And then walk to the left side. So I'm just walking myself over. So my center of my mass is on the ball is from my left shoulder. So I have to really stabilize my spine to not fall off. And the neck is really paying playing a huge part of that.
I see the muscles in your
Yeah,
neck.
so it's like step off. It's like, oh, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And then don't forget to breathe. So let's try one way. Right, want to try that one? I'll do it from the front. Maybe that'll help. So here in the center, head's not resting on the ball.
Okay.
I side step. So my shoulders on the ball, in the middle of the
Okay.
ball, like that. And then I side step the other way. There. Funny, right? But this is really working. It's like you're not even moving, but it's killing your body. Let's make it stronger. Good killing. There it is. So hold there for a second if you can. Let your head drop here. Yeah, there we go. Good. So a good way to get up on the ball, let me show you that. If you're on the floor like that, like if it's behind you, you can just do this. Walk up there, like that. So that's an easy position to go to from there to there.
Yeah.
It's better than trying to do this. Sit on it because you're never secure that way. So it's
But your head isn't on the ball?
head
It is
is on the ball for this one.
Oh,
Kinda
That's
has
much
to.
more comfortable.
yeah.
But it doesn't work as much. There you go.
I don't know what.
And
It
then
works.
lift
Yeah.
right there. Feel like you gotta squeeze the butt to get that extra inch of that pelvic thrust. And then you drop down, the arms go down. I kind of like go up, and then my arms go to my side like this. And I go up, really squeeze the butt, lift that pelvis up. You also want it to be like a flat plane when you get to the top. There you go. Probably went up too much, but that's good too. And that really stretches these guys too. They like to bring the shoulders up, so we're pushing down when we do that. Oh, we got plenty of time for torture. I think we started early.
Oh, these are good.
Another one you can do is you kind of lunge with one leg. Yeah, perfect. Really good. Going into posterior, right? Tucking the tailbone, and then you're going out. Doing the opposite. And that's okay. You do both, like you know you're more anterior.
Right.
As long as you're going both directions. You still want the motion. It's not
Right.
bad. And you don't want to overcorrect to the point where you're going to turn yourself in this way back either. So
Oh,
that's good, that balance. But you can, throughout the day, that's the best exercise throughout the day. Just trying to bring yourself into a forced correction. Because I know I'm doing this all day, my butt's sticking out.
right.
So I become like this if I don't think about it. And I'm always,
Yeah.
when you'll see me, I'm pushing it down, like stay there all day long. It's just fighting against it. If I was running around in the jungle, I wouldn't have this problem. So you can do some lunges there. To the side, you can do circles, and you can do lateral tilts. So you're here, tilting left and right on the joints. And sometimes I get really fancy, I'll do it with a weight on my head. Because then you know you're not moving your body. When you move your body wrong, the weight's gonna fall. So that really forces you to be upright and push against the weight. So that's like the ultimate challenge. See, sometimes that head will go forward, weight will go down. So I love having a weight on my head. It really keeps you 100% honest.
So if you learn something, like I've said in other videos, before you can fix a problem, you got to understand it. And even before that, you got to understand there is a problem. And that's the first step to fixing it. So you got to figure out what position you're in. Are you anterior pelvic tilt? Are you like me? Are you sway back? Are you posterior pelvic tilt? Are you some weird combination of both? What muscles are weak? What muscles are imbalanced? What muscles are strong, hypertonic? And once you know how to find neutral, you want to overcorrect your position. So you're bringing yourself from one bad position into almost the opposite position until you've reached muscle balance. And then you're ready to work out. You're ready to do your deadlifts. You're ready to be in the gym, whatever you can handle. I mean, sometimes there's injuries preventing you from ever really wanting to be able to lift certain amounts of weights, and there's just stupid amounts that you don't want to be doing anyways. So But you gotta have a strong core if you're going to be lifting or running or whatever. All right.